This is JR Gaming, and right now I'm going to rebuild the San Francisco 49ers. So I trade Brian Hoyer and Garrett Selleck and the 3rd round pick for the Jets' 1st round pick. So I get Joel Bitonio for Aldrick Robinson and my 3rd round pick. So I trade Aaron Lynch, Zane Beadles, and a 5th round pick for the Cowboys' 1st round pick. So I trade Alvarez Dumervil and Malcolm Smith for Sterling Shepard. So I trade Jimmy Ward and 2 2nd round picks for Julio Jones. So I trade Dante Johnson and a 6th round pick for Malcolm Jenkins. So I trade Earl Mitchell and Tank Carradine for DeMarco Murray. So I trade Carlos Hyde, the Cowboys' 1st round pick, and one of my 3rd round picks for Darius Slay Jr. So here's my team heading to next season. CJ Beathard will start, DeMarco Murray, and we have Julio and Pierre Garçon starting. Joshua Garnett's here, Joel Bitonio, Joe Staley. The D-line's pretty good. Linebackers are okay. And we have a new and improved secondary. And Malcolm Jenkins will start at free safety. So at the midseason mark, we are 4-4. And Eric Reed needs a new contract. And we'll give him one. And we'll also give one to no one else. At the end of the season, we went 6-10. CJ Beathard threw for 3,400 yards, 18 TDs, 17 interceptions. DeMarco Murray rushed for 1,300 yards, 12 TDs. Julio caught 78 passes for 1,200 yards, 6 TDs. We let up a bunch of sacks. Brock Coyle got 123 tackles. Or 123 solo tackles and 153 tackles. DeForest Buckner had 11 tackles for a loss. Eli Harold had 7 QB sacks. DeForest Buckner with 6. Darius Slay with 7 picks. Malcolm Jenkins with 5. And DeForest Buckner had a safety. Tom Brady wins MVP. Doug Peterson, Coach of the Year. Darius Slay is number 3 for Best DB. And we win no awards. In free agency, I get Greg Max. So I trade my 11th overall pick and Joshua Garnett for the Colts' number 1 overall pick. So I trade the number 1 overall pick to get the number 2 overall pick, the Jaguars' 2nd round pick, and 1st round pick next year. With the 2nd overall pick, I'm going to choose this cornerback, Steely Jennings. And he's an 83 overall. So I trade my 6th overall pick, Pierre Garçon, and a 4th round pick next year for the Bills, 2 1st round picks this year. With the 13th overall pick, I'm going to choose Nicholas O'Neal. And he's a 77 overall QB with quick development. With my 16th overall pick, I'm going to trade with the Bengals to get their 1st round pick next year and their 3rd and 4th round pick this year. With the 2nd round pick, I'm going to choose Stuart Adams, a 77 overall right tackle. With my 3rd round pick, I'm going to choose Chauncey Linton, a left guard, and he's a 75 overall. With my 4th round pick, I'm going to choose this right guard, and he's a 76 overall. With my 7th round pick, I'm gonna choose this middle linebacker, and he's not that good. So I trade Laken Tomlinson, Trent Brown, and Akilu Witherspoon for John Ross. I traded third round pick for Zach Martin. So here's his team heading to next season. We have a rookie quarterback, a good running back, good receivers, a good O-line, good tight end. Our linebacker core isn't the best, pretty good and young D-line, and a good secondary. At the midseason mark, we are 3-4. And we'll give Zach Martin a new contract. And we'll give Eric Armstead a new contract as well. Eli Harold gets re-signed. And so does Bradley Pinion. And that'll be it for re-signings. At the end of the season, we went 6-10. Nicholas O'Neal threw for 4,000 yards, 29 TDs, 14 interceptions. DeMarco Murray ran for 1,300 yards, 7 TDs. Julio Jones caught 77 passes for 1,100 yards and 8 TDs. He let up only 20 sacks. Ray Armstrong gets 136 tackles. Solomon Thomas gets 13 tackles for loss. And Eric Armstead gets 9.5 sacks. Our rookie cornerback got 3 interceptions, a bunch of players with 2. And Eric Reed gets 2 defensive touchdowns, Robinson gets 1, Jaquiski Tartt gets 1. Tom Brady wins MVP again. Dan Quinn wins Coach of the Year. Nicholas O'Neal wins Offensive Rookie of the Year. And we don't win any other awards. So in free agency, I just get Tevin Coleman. So I trade my first round pick and fifth round pick and DeMarco Murray for the Panthers' first round pick this year and first round pick next year. So I trade down to get the Raiders picks. And now I'm going to get a lot of Vikings picks. And I'll do the same with the Jets. With the 4th overall pick, I'm going to choose Chance Booth, or outside linebacker, and he has superstar development. With my 9th overall pick, I'm going to choose Julian Mullins, cornerback from Ohio State, and he's an 80 overall superstar. So I trade my first and second round pick for the Dolphins' first round pick. With the 10th overall pick, I'm going to choose this middle linebacker, and he also has superstar development. So I trade Eric Armstead, Rashard Robinson, and the second round pick for J.J. Watt. So here's the team heading to next season. Our rookie quarterback is now an 85 overall. Tevin Coleman's here. Good receiving core. Good linemen. Our D-line is very improved with J.J. Watt and this rookie right end. Our cornerbacks are pretty good. Linebackers are good. And safeties are good. At the midseason mark, we are 3-4. And Eric Armstead, DeForest Buckner, needs a new contract. And we'll give him one. I'll give Sterling Shepard a new contract. And Malcolm Jenkins will not get one. So at the end of the season, we went 6-10 again. Nicholas O'Neal threw for 3,600 yards, 26 TDs, 13 interceptions. Tevin Coleman ran for 1,300 yards, 15 TDs. Julio caught 76 passes for 1,100 yards, 6 TDs. And we let up a decent amount of sacks. Skuda got 126 tackles. J.J. Watt with 18 tackles for loss. And he also had 11 sacks. Chance Booth had 8 sacks. Darius Slay with 9 interceptions. Jennings with 4. Jennings and Slay both had defensive touchdowns. Big Ben wins MVP. Doug Marrone wins Coach of the Year. Scuda wins Defensive Rookie of the Year. Darius Slay is number 2 in Best DB. And those are all the awards we won. With the first overall pick, I'm going to trade down with the Bears. I'm going to trade my third overall pick with the Denver Broncos. And with my fifth overall pick, I will be choosing a tight end, Henry Fisher from Florida. And he's a really good player. With my 7th overall pick, I'll choose this receiver, Spencer Tatum. And he also has superstar development. With the 20th overall pick, I'll choose this cornerback. And he's a 79 with slow development. And now I'll just sim the rest of the draft. So I trade the slow development cornerback, Sterling Shepard, in the 3rd round pick for a superstar development free safety from the Bills. So I trade a random cornerback, a 2nd and 4th for Luke Kuechly. So I trade Eli Harold and George Kittle and the 1st round pick for Michael Thomas. So I trade John Ross, a backup right guard, and a 1st round pick for a superstar left tackle. So here's the team heading to the season. We have our quarterback is 85, Tevin Coleman's an 89, 2 really good receivers, superstar development, rookie tight end, a really great O-line, a great D-line, and a great linebacker core with Luke Kuechly. We have some pretty good cornerbacks and good safeties. So we make the playoffs at 11-5. O'Neal threw for 4,300 yards, 31 TDs, 16 interceptions. Coleman ran for 1,300 yards, 9 TDs. Jones caught 93 passes for 1,300 yards, 7 TDs. We let up only 9 sacks. Kuechly had 117 tackles. J.J. Watt had 13 tackles for loss and 8.5 sacks. Booth had 8 sacks. Kuechly had 4 interceptions. And no defensive touchdowns. Aaron Rodgers wins MVP. And McCarty wins Coach of the Year. Tatum wins Offensive Rookie of the Year. Zach Martin wins Best Offensive Lineman. And Eubanks wins Best Kicker. So the team doesn't really change as we head into the playoffs. Our tight end and wide receiver got upgraded. Craig is now a 99 overall. And Scuda is a 91. And everything else is pretty similar. So now we face the 10-6 Seahawks. And with no linemen, we beat them. Now we face the 12-4 Packers. And with Mike McCarty coaching, anything's possible. And now we face the 10-6 Philadelphia Eagles. And we beat them. Now we face the 10-4 Chargers. And it seems like they hadn't had much injuries, which is surprising. And there's no way the Chargers could win the Super Bowl. and we beat them. So we took a couple of NFC South players with Michael Thomas, Devin Coleman, Julio Jones. Our line's really good. D-line and linebackers are also really good. And yeah, this is the team that won the Super Bowl. And we can't forget about the kicker.